for National Council of Canadian Tamils, National Youth Representative. We're here today to commemorate the annual event that we do in memory of Black July 1983 riots that took place from July 23rd to the 28th. Now, this event was marked by over 3,000 Tamils losing their lives, predominantly in the Colombo region of Sri Lanka, but also there was riots and massacres happening from Trincomalee to other parts of regions in Sri Lanka as well. We're here to commemorate this day because it was a tragic day where the Sri Lankan government completely dehumanized the Tamil minority in Sri Lanka. They gave the mobs that were creating these violent acts, they were all state-sponsored mobs. They were given voters lists to identify exactly where the Tamils lived. Tamil businesses were burned down, store owners were burnt and killed alive. There was over millions of dollars in property damages. Over hundreds of thousands of Tamils fled Sri Lanka after this day. Many of us here today are here because of that event. And it was a day that the International Council of Jurists marked as an act of genocide. Then, more relevant, more recent, we have the May 2009 genocide that took place last year, where about 40,000 civilians lost their lives. And the similarities between these two cases are remarkable, just in the fact that there's a complete disregard for international law, complete disregard for domestic law, complete disrespect for human life, human rights. And we're here today to voice our concern about that. And we're here also to show that these events don't stand isolated. They're all stemming from the exact same root cause, which is the discrimination and the hatred towards the Tamil minority and the complete lack of human rights given to that minority within Sri Lanka. Right? And we're here today to commemorate those lives lost both in 2009 and in the 83 riots. And we're here today to talk about the UN panel that has been announced by Mr. Ban Ki-moon of the UN, a panel that's expected to investigate the possibilities of war crimes, crimes against humanity and genocide, which have all been deemed very possible by the Dublin tribal that was happening in Ireland, and also by other renowned Louis Arbour from Canada, who sits in the international ICJ now. So we're here to ask Canada as a country, our country, to both federal and provincial parliaments, take a stance on this issue, support the investigation, and not just leave it as an open-ended investigation, to actually have some results from it. If they want, justice for the Tamil people, that justice has to come with the violators of human rights and international law being persecuted under international law, and war criminals being brought to justice, and that's what we want.
Now, you're talking about the United Nations. There's been various reports that Ban Ki-moon and Rajapaksa, have been good friends for many years. Do you think there will actually be any justice coming out of these UN commissions?
I think that I can't comment on that, just because I don't know the personal relationships of the individuals. However, I do hope that that's not the case. I do hope that when you enter the UN and you enter a position of responsibility such as what Ban Ki-moon has, I hope, and I'm pretty sure it's in their rule set, that you put your position before anything else. And if you have a conflict of interest, you would announce that beforehand. So because that has not been announced, I expect Mr. Ban Ki-moon to fulfill his duty and do it in accordance and charge both Rajapaksa and his regime for war crimes and crimes against humanity.
Now, you're a member of the NCCT. Now, when I covered the election, there was many youth involved in these. Some of the youth were leading and teaching everybody else. So do you have any comment on that, about the youth situation?
I think that the National Council of Canadian Tamils is a grassroots organization that formed after the demonstration period that we held last year in 2009. And I think that it's a fully youth-led initiative, the National Council of Canadian Tamils, amongst with other community members. But it's a youth-led initiative because the youth, we demonstrated day and night on the streets. After the demonstrations were done, we analyzed the situation. We figured out what our weaknesses or what our strengths were, and we evolved and adapted to those circumstances. And what we as a community came up with was that, we need a national body. We need a democratically elected body, a cross-country body, to represent us on the Canadian level, both nationally, provincially, and municipally. And that's what we came up with. The vision came after the demonstrations. After the vision, we did the December referendum of 2009, and now we elected our national council, and now this council has partnered up with organizations in Europe to pursue a legal matter into charging war crimes. So we see the progress, and we see the evolution and adaptation of our people as a whole. And this is a true remarkable sense, and it could not be possible without the admiration and leadership of the second generation Tamil youth.
I have a question. Does the members of the NCC, do they work with the councilmen, MPPs, and MPs? Is that their role?
Yes.
To let them know what the Tamil people want?
Part of the role of the National Council of Canadian Tamils is to lobby. We do lobby. We do our constant communication with all levels of Parliament. We send them emails, we send them letters, we make phone calls. This is our job and our priority. Lobbying is an aspect of one of the roles that we're tasked with doing, and we do make sure we do that. So yes, we are in communication.
Have Canadian officials ever commented on the organization? Have you spoken to anybody?
During even the election results, actually, members from all three parties actually came and spoke at the inaugural event for the NCCT for the election results. So they said how it's a remarkable process, how maybe Election Canada could even learn from some of the tactics that we were using in tackling some of the double voting, rigging, and stuff like that. They commended us on our, initiative to, form this democratic body to handle our issue, and they talked about the legitimacy of our cause and the legitimacy of what we were doing, and how this was a very remarkable milestone footing for the town people in Canada.